mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't trying to go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
Welcome back to another episode of the Urban X Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Malcolm. This is the Black Dot.
In the building, in the flesh.
Thank you guys for joining us. If you're listening right now, thank you for listening. All right?
Yep. We appreciate your continued support.
Yes, man. I'm glad we're here.
Oh, my God. You're
I know.
blinding me.
I am.
I like it. I like
Yes,
it. It's
thank
fresh.
you. Thank
fresh.
you. So, how was your week? It's Thursday. It's our Friday, but it's Thursday.
Yeah, I got to hang out with Noble on Tuesday.
That's right. That happened. It was a long week.
Long week.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Yep, we hung out. We did the Pan-Par, thing, and that was great.
Yeah.
Because Odyssey happened to be home from school, too.
Right.
So she got to see her nephew.
Right.
And, we did it up real big. And other than that, man, just working, man. Working.
Got you. So real quick, we're gonna take a quick roll call. I saw Jamaica in the building.
St. Louis.
I saw Naptown in the house.
Norfolk, Virginia in the building.
Who else?
Costa Rica, they said they in the building.
Norfolk, VA, Cali in the building.
GA.
Who else?
In the building.
Mobtown in the building. Japan in the building. Shouts out to
Maryland in the building. Pittsburgh in the building.
LA, Crenshaw District.
Definitely saw the South Bronx in the building.
Of course, man. Memphis.
Oh, yeah, Belize in the building.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes.
New Hampshire, Texas, H-Town.
It is what it is, man.
Thank y'all for joining us. Hope you guys had an amazing week. And thank you for spending the end of your week with us.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it more than you can imagine. Not a lot going on in the world.
Yeah, it's not. Somebody else needs to get smacked up so we can have more discord about it.
That's sad, but or somebody needs to do something amazing in the world. That too, so we can have urban excellence stories. Anywho, we're gonna make $1 out of 15 cents, 'cause that's what we do.
Got to.
And so let's get this thing rocking.
All right.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So, big news from today. Ketanji Brown Jackson, or they call her KBJ. She was confirmed today as a Supreme Court justice.
Clap that up.
Right. She is the first African American. I don't know. Is she African American? I don't want to get into it, but she's the first black woman to be elected into the Supreme Court. At first, there were articles like she's the first black person in the Supreme Court, and it felt like news publications were deliberately leaving out like Thurgood Marshall, like they were like deliberately leaving these people out, or even Clarence Thomas. Like, say what you want about him, you can feel how you want to feel about him. I don't really care too much for him, but he's there. So don't rewrite history because Joe Biden is the one who kind of got her nominated.
Yes, and that's a part of the ongoing narrative of Joe Biden is to cater to black women in America by showing, he's kissing up to black women. However, this is historical. It just is. Right now, because we are on the ground level, when it happens, we're closer to more of her real story.
Right.
But think about 30, 40 years out from now, when a young girl who may want to become a Supreme Court judge and change the world and...
Yeah. Sorry, wrong picture.
Oh, yeah. Are you drinking? God damn it. God... See, you was
losing points.
You was in the lead for the employee of the month.
No, she losing points.
And you just wowed out. You just wowed out. So, little children who may want to become Supreme Court judges in the future will not know any of the indiscretions that we understand. So when we start looking at this from a historical perspective, it is important. It's worth a clap because it does... change things, not necessarily for us
at all for us,
but we got to make reference points to it being there for some young girl who may have a different mindset.
Yeah. So listen. So what's happening is, because you touched on it. So Biden's whole administration right now is weirdly catering to black women, right? Not weirdly, but it's in a way like that's how they're framing it, right? He brought on Kamala Harris as his VP, black woman. Oh, snap, right? And then when they won, right, the whole narrative was black women showed up, got him in the office. Nobody else did it, but we did it. And then he, elects her as the VP. So I think, me personally, it's not... it's a strategy that I'm sure that he thinks is gonna, lead to something else. I don't think it's a very good winning strategy, because all I think is what's gonna happen is you're just throwing fuel to the fire for white people who are just racist, white people who feel like they're ignored, white people
who feel that their needs are not being met because you're
to go out and vote. Yeah, because
to black women.
The early polls for the midterm elections looks crazy. Like the Republicans are about to make a clean sweep. So you're making all this symbolism happen for people to think like you're not actually doing something in office, and you're kind of placating to the Twitter conversations. But what's really about to happen around him is about to get scary. And
not only that, Malcolm, that formula only works for one term.
Yeah, exactly.
It worked for Trump.
Right.
He catered to a specific audience who felt that they were not being met, and that was them trailer park white folk. Get them goddamn Mexicans out of here and gonna build the wall, and it got him elected. But it's not going to sustain because, you know what I mean?
It almost, for him, he almost won.
He probably did, but that's a whole other story. We're not going to have it.
Yeah.
But now if you're going to go all in on black women as but he got it codified because they all got white men with them.
That too.
So he codified them and shit
too. That too, yeah.
See, this is chess.
Yeah.
Y'all got to look at the total optic. Don't just look at the black woman. He going, black woman? Anglo-Saxon man,
and then remember
really making the decisions.
And then they got news, like actual news publications, like publishing articles saying black women should, marry white men.
Absolutely,
like, what?
Absolutely. So don't get it twisted. He know what he's doing, and then he's gonna lean on Anglo-Saxon men to go, listen, don't worry about that. We just trying to make sure we secure the nigga vote. After all the things he's done to black people.
Yeah.
So when we speak about karma a lot, we speak about putting good deeds on top of a bunch of bad deeds, and hopefully that when the full story is done, only people remember the good deeds. You know what I'm saying? The Rockefeller Foundation, or the Betty Ford Clinic for this, or the, all of these things that when we go and we dig deep, were not built for us. So understand, this is a long game that they're playing. They're not playing the short game. And we're going to see how this thing works out. But the Republicans look like they're ready to make that move.
Oh yeah, that's about to go down.
When she won, they didn't even hang around. They just all walked out. Which I think is a little salty. Come on, at least clap the lady up, because all of y'all got shit in the closet. When you start scrutinizing all of the Supreme judges, Clarence Thomas went through hell.
Oh yeah,
with his sexual assaults and
And I remember learning about that in high school, and I didn't realize how much of a big discussion that was in the black household, black men versus black women. That's kind of where it started. Not where it started, but on the mainstream, because what was her Anita Hill. I
believe it was Anita Hill.
Right. So, and then I didn't know that became a nationwide discussion, because the men were like, "This is a black man who's getting voted in the thing," and then, he violated a black woman,
or let's bring up his
right.
Dude, listen, if I run for Supreme Judge 20 years from now, I clean my life up and niggas like, come on, son,
Anita Hill. Yep, it was Anita Hill.
Yeah, your history is crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? I got I defer, and and then you hope you get in with all the dirt you did. They all got dirt on them. Most of them white dudes are probably Klansmen.
Yeah.
Or heavily related to Klansmen. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas, what he got on his arm? White woman. Who rocks with Trump. See?
Yeah. Because we spoke about her thing a couple weeks ago when they got her text messages during the whole January 6th thing.
Right.
And then she's
part of the insurrection and all that shit.
She was kind of trying to feed into it and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, they just the female thing, because her politics are kind of in line as well. She's not that progressive either.
Oh, yeah, and that's another thing. Yeah,
and then when during the confirmation hearings, the stuff that kind of got exposed about her politics or about how she was lenient to certain people, and
if you're lenient to a so-called pedophiles or that operation, you don't understand what that does for you, because this is a worldwide underground system that has been running for years and has to stay in place for these specific individuals to get fed, right? So it's sort of like vampires. You go to blood centers, you give blood. Let's say real vampires run all that because they need to sustain. So this pedophile thing, you got to stop looking at it for the 15th time as a freaky thing. For you, that shit would be perverted because you understand that's the violation of children and all of that. To other people who are not human, they're mankind. Let's just say that. Mankind has a different appetite for blood, a different appetite for these type of things. So they have to have a global network in place. And if you show loyalty to that network, whether you're a police officer that looks the other way when, we coming through, or a judge, or, a Supreme Judge candidate, these are things that are going to work in your favor within those circles. Now, the public may sit there and be confused. Why would you even let a dude out of jail who did that? It's because you're looking at an immoral world through a moral lens. And when you do that, you become confused. Your spiritual compass is off, because up is down and left is right. And blue is red and salt is sugar. So your whole goddamn compass is thrown off, and you walking around here, slapping people at the Oscars. It's real shit going on.
That was a good one. I respect that one.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So, Rihanna was actually named to the Billionaires list on Forbes. Was that what? It was Forbes, right?
Yeah, Forbes Billionaires list.
Forbes Billionaire list, right? So, and I think that was her first time actually being listed. I think it was already kind of established.
Yeah.
She kind of hit that mark already because of her makeup line, her fashion line, and stuff like that. It was already kind of known that she was on that list, but I think it kind of made it official.
Bro, you got to give Jay-Z his flowers, bro.
I'm not going to... Yeah.
I mean, that whole team right there, they said she's 1.7, Kanye is 2.0, and Jay-Z's 1.4. So that whole run this town.
Yeah, that's it.
They run this town.
Yeah.
That's $5 billion right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So off that tree, right? And so that's a lot of bread, man. You know what I mean? And whether you into the material, this and that, it is what it is. And all through different components. She did hers through makeup and fashion. You know, Kanye did his through production and fashion, and just being being Kanye.
Mostly fashion.
Right, mostly fashion. Jay-Z did his mostly through music.
Yeah.
And wine and liquors and, bottles of spirit. And so what they have shown is that you get in, it's a cultural thing. And they have put themselves not in the pole position. Let's not be, naive to this. But they are, the numbers don't lie. His team is doing it.
Yeah. If you're waiting for another Rihanna album, it's not happening.
It may happen ceremoniously.
Not happening.
It may happen, but music has to come from within. You can't make music for record sales.
Oh, not anymore, for sure.
Not anymore. That music has to be, I'm feeling this. This is for my fans.
Yeah.
This is for the people who came on board as music lovers. They didn't come on board with the makeup and the pajamas or whatever else she's selling. They came on board loving the music and the voice. And,
No, because somebody said Rockaway did hundreds of millions. Facts, but not anymore. Like, you can't, there's no way you're making as much money from music anymore.
Oh, no.
And that's why, like, a lot of rappers even take the upfront money, like the 360 deal, because...
But you got to be able to leverage your 360 deal.
Yes.
Jay-Z leveraged his 360 deal to put the money into Armadale, to put the money into these things. And knowing his name and his worth, he was able to triple, quadruple that value.
Yeah.
If you just an artist and you sign a 360 deal... Good luck with that, because you're going to be running in place for the rest of your life. But that's why today's artists, they do the corporate deals.
Yeah.
You get a line with Pepsi or a Sprite or somebody to ensure that you at least getting something for your value. I'm always telling new artists, because every now and then, they hit me up and I consult them. You got to make world music now. You got to make universal music. You got to make music that could be in a movie, music that could play at the arenas. All I do is win, win, win. You got to make music like that.
Or
ESPN.
Yeah, those. Or you have to be like really diligent and really hyper focused on like cultivating like your own tribe.
Oh, well, first and foremost,
if you
have your lane and you're willing to do the work in your lane, of course. You want to do that, but some of these guys, when I hear their songs, I'm like, who's that song for?
Right.
And it's for a specific audience that's already a saturated market.
Yeah.
I'm like, that song is not going to do well because it's saturated there. Now, you can make stripper twerk music and you have a lane, you got your trap, so we have these different compartments, but I be telling these young dudes, think basketball players, think triumphant, think movies, think energy in the crowd, and sometimes those songs will give you the cross appeal that you need when now you doing world concerts as opposed to just you in the back of a club or something.
I know how you feel about the drug dealer music, but Griselda is actually a great example to watch or to kind of model if you're up and coming, because they got big really in Buffalo.
Yes.
They control Buffalo, right?
Yes.
They were talking to people in Buffalo, and then they created like their entire their tribe, their fandom.
Hustle.
Yeah,
I have ultimate respect for, because they did the normal template. They locked down their city.
Yeah,
they locked down their city and got the support of their city and had people coming to them. And they had these little narratives with West Side Story with the West Side Guns with the West Side Story, West Side Guns with the wrestling and different narratives, and they all had their own different components, and they did bring the world to them. But they're close to my age, and I'm just saying at some point.
True.
If you,
they're not close. They're kind of
but they're at least 45, and I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Like Pusha T got the new joint out with Jay-Z.
Hard.
I think it's a real hard song. It's really hard. And I'm like, okay, it's no way humanly possible you sold all them fucking drugs and you're not in jail. It's no way humanly. So you're telling stories. Yeah. You have manipulated third dimension to tell these stories and fables that are not real, but yield real results.
True.
That's sorcery. And I keep telling you, your purpose here in third dimension is to learn how to manipulate matter. Yeah. So you're seeing him do it, tell these stories that's not real, and yet they yield real results in his life. You have the same power through whatever your platforms are. You can either tell real stories, made up stories, or whatever the case may be, but how well are you willing to do that and manifest? Because that's all this industry is about now. Yeah. Now, Jay-Z sold drugs. He did. But did he sell that many drugs?
Yeah, I still don't believe the 92 brick story.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So look at where it has propelled him. Facts. And he's probably the less talented out of the three of them. Not the less talented, but he didn't get into fashion. Creative aspect. He did the Rockaware clothing line, but that was really a Dame Dash thing.
Yeah.
And, so he stayed to his guns. And you can say what you want to say about them, man, but they're all billionaires.
Real quick, and if you're an artist right now, if you're watching and you were just like listening right now, you should you should get a book. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy, and it's what we were talking about, what you were just talking about by going into these super saturated markets. They call it like a red ocean. Like, why would you start a business in a red ocean where everybody's there fighting for scraps, killing each other, when you can go to a blue ocean? It's just you there.
Absolutely.
Right? So you can apply that to your business. Really good book, Blue Ocean Strategy. Check it out.
Blue Ocean Strategy. Yeah. Clap that up. So we just dropping a few gems. Just, sprinkle a little bit here and there. You know what I mean?
So, usually I don't like talking about things like this because I feel like it gives podcasting a bad name. Real quick, I want to get a little rant off. I'm tired of, like I said, podcast is getting a bad name because it's like a lot of just guys who huddle around a mic and they just recycle the same 3 and 4 topics all the time, every single time. And then now it's like a narrative thing, like, oh, black men, all you gotta do with podcasts, you just talk about dumb shit. So it's it's a little frustrating, right? So the Pivot podcast,
so you can say the word shit. It's all right.
I was flowing. Right. So the Pivot podcast, which was the I Am Athlete podcast originally, but a couple of them broke off and did their own thing, right? They were talking with who were they? A couple, I think, the dude from Ryan, the dude from the Steelers, whatever his name is. They were talking with him, and then the Russell Wilson came up. Don't know how. And I think the guy Crowder was the linebacker. He said Ciara wouldn't be with him if he didn't have his money. He's a square and stuff like that. And then the conversation online got dominated by what's a square. A good black man is a square. You know what I'm saying? And then that conversation kind of happened. Real quick, as a result, the guy who said that, they started pulling up his old high school pictures.
Oh.
And it was bad.
His receipts?
Yeah. He was one of those in high school. Like, you would have probably bullied. Like, he was one of those. He was Ryan Clark.
So that's why he was able to identify so quickly, because that was him.
But he's acting like he's
acting like that now.
Yeah.
He acting like that now. Now, my take, you finished with that?
Yeah.
My take on that is, listen, Future has messed up 7 families. I don't care how you dress it up, and if you are going to cap or run with Future's behavior, that's part of the problem. All right? 7 different kids by 7 different baby mothers or whatever, that's a part of the problem. All right? So now, no woman, I don't care how much she tells you she wants, she may want to engage in bad boys early because they have the flashy this and that, and they recognize power. He's a powerful dude. He's a singer. He's an artist. They have power. But at the end of the day, women are looking for stability. They're looking for intelligence. They're looking for somebody that they know appreciates their value in the grand scheme of things. Now, a lot of times, women want to, wait until their box is damn near dragging the floor before they go, hey, come get me. Too late. I came to get you early.
He was right there.
Yeah, I was right there.
He was right there.
I came to get you early, and now you want to, but this is true, right? So what she did, she pivoted early. Mm-hmm. She realized, I don't want to, because that's a very awkward picture of her with the other baby mothers. It was at a party or something. And here it is, she's Ciara.
Yeah.
She has established herself already, and she's there with the other baby mothers trying to be civil, and it just looked awkward for her. Along comes, because people don't give Russell Wilson credit. At his draft day, he had that ugly white girl on his arm. She was ugly. She was ugly.
She did.
And she was sitting there like, and he was like,
Yeah.
And he got rid of that.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? Give him a few points for that shit. Because usually in the green room, them white girls be like, Mama, we made it. This ain't no ordinary nigga. This is $1 million nigga I'm bringing home. That's the only niggas white people accept home is the $1 million niggas. She thought she scored big. Russell Wilson had other plans.
Right.
Then he meets Ciara. They have a connection. He's good. He's a wholesome guy. He's Christian or whatever. He plays football. She know where he gonna be on Sunday. And you know, this and that. And she settled in. I don't understand what's the hate about that. But we're in sludge. I told you, we're in cosmic sludge. Yeah. Where people will hold up Future and call this dude, you know what I'm saying, Russell Wilson, who went to college, got a degree probably in college, plays football. No, nothing bad you've heard about him, and he's a sucker.
Yeah.
You know, I told you this is a bizarro world. Up is down and left is right.
Well, Channing said it. Oh my God. Somebody said Ryan didn't say. I said he was talking to Ryan. That's what I said, right?
Yeah.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah, he was talking to Ryan.
Yeah.
Don't answer that.
You're getting ignored, sir.
Yeah. So you understand my point?
Yeah.
And I do know there's a process. Like, for instance, I was always confused on how, and this is, the ladies can maybe adjust to this or understand this, how these rappers were putting these strippers up on these pedestals.
Oh, so you know what's
talking
crazy?
about they want to marry them, and yet you had these sisters who were refined, who were intelligent, who had knowledge of self, who were spiritual, saying, what about me?
Yo, somebody on Twitter today tried to make the argument that the reason why, like, what guys started, like, really, like, not caring about, like, strippers and stuff like that was, like, Drake. Because of Drake's music, how he kind of, like, glorified strippers and stuff like that. How then, like, it became, like, not a shameful thing to kind of just, like, bring home a stripper.
Listen,
like
these
not shameful, but you know what I mean?
I understand. These are women as well, but when you understand there is, say, you know their full history, and if you have decided as a man, knowing her, her score, her whole facts, because every chick's got a whole facts. You just got to dial it up. Oh, you got 47 bodies. Ooh, 17 celebrity bodies? God damn it, Cindy. Or Strawberry, whatever the fuck your name is. And you decide to walk down that aisle, it wasn't like you was in the dark about it, you knew. So we had a concerted effort of rappers holding these women up, and a lot of young women who may have,
at the same time social media started really
right. This is all at the same time.
Thing.
So it created a confusion thing with women too. Going. So all I need to do is shake my ass. That's it. I don't need to be intelligent. I don't need to be spiritual. Protect you, hold you up, support you, help you feel your dreams, be able to hold down a household. I don't need to do none of that shit. I just need to be able to twerk my ass. And we good, and I'm going to get all the money, and yet you see sisters going to school and trying to be something. It just became bizarro world. That's all I saw, and I was like, wow, because I'm old school. We kept, I'm here. I'm only here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I mean, Ma? So I know you only hovering over me because my ones is crazy right now. I know you don't love me. So let's not even act. You're calling me daddy and all that shit. Catering to my ego until the ones are gone. I get it. I'm here for something. You here for something. Let's just make it happen. It's straight to the point. But I'm not bringing you home like, yo.
Yeah.
I have my uncles be like, hey, what day Wayne? You know who that is, ain't it? You know who that is? Yeah. Shit, I gave $38.
So I didn't even think about that. T-Pain had the song "I'm in Love with a Stripper."
Right.
So that was before Drake.
Right. All of these things created the narrative to say, let's. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand. Listen, prostitution is one of the oldest
it is the
profession in the world.
It is the oldest.
But people get that out of context because you didn't just go to fuck. Excuse my French. These prostitutes, or were considered, were healers. You went and you confided in them on a whole bunch of things, and you got so many levels. You might have got a little box too, and the sexual energy, understanding sexual magic during that time, that shit might have taken you somewhere else, but it was for a price. Totally different. Totally different than what we talk about. These chicks don't even know what they have in between their legs and the power. They don't know nothing about organ energy, transferring of sexual, opening up the chakra. They don't know none of that shit. You know what I mean? This is just an exchange of energy. And then you got to think about this. How many atomic bombs you got up in you, ma? Like, how many dudes have released? Oh. And you carrying that energy around. Dude, it's got to be... if you stand next to a microwave, shit... that's part of the whole facts. But stand next to this microwave, put this shit on 3 minutes, see what kind of explosion we have in this motherfucker.
Oh, my God.
Just blew the block up and shit with all that organ energy in her. Anyway, that's not nice, Black Dot. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So it works both ways. You know, you got these dudes with all these kids out here, and we bigging them up, and we got these girls who their whole facts is crazy, and we bigging them up.
There's a show, right? There's a show on Netflix. It's called The Ultimatum, right? I didn't watch it on my own last night. It was not me. I was forced.
Okay.
Right? But the premise around the show is this couple, and they feel like, one gives the other the ultimatum, like, we need to get married or I'm out.
Okay.
Right? So it's like 6 or 7 couples, they all go, and they all are allowed to date other people for the week. And if they come back, then they get engaged. If not, they can leave with somebody else or something to that effect.
That's
right?
stupid.
No, okay, right? It's messy as hell. But all of there's white guys who brought their girls, who's giving their girls ultimatum, like, we need to get married, and the girls are like, I'm alright. And then the black women are telling their men, like, we need to get married, and the guys are like, alright. And so I'm just seeing it play out like, this white girl or this black woman is about to get with this white guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know that's what's
playing out just as it's happening. I only watched one episode, so I don't know but that's what it looked like.
Sounds like you giving an ultimatum to watch that shit. You watching this show, I'm leaving.
I don't need that negativity, B.
Anyway, somebody said healers. Yeah, them prostitutes in ancient times were healers. Exactly. Yeah, I know that's hard for you to grasp your mind, but linear minds thinking straight lines.
You just love that. You love that line, man. You just he said it like 4 times this week to 4 different people, and he act like it was the first time he said it every time. Yeah. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll be back.
Yes, we are back.
Shouts out to those businesses. Their information is in the description below if you want to support.
And we'll start interviewing next week, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, getting them on the horn and putting them in front of the people and allowing them to tell you
their story.
Because everybody has a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right.
You're listening to the sounds of Urban X.
So 2 more coaches joined Brian Flores' lawsuit against the NFL that's alleging like racism during the hiring process. Mm-hmm. So Steve Wilkes and Ray Horton. So Steve Wilkes was he was the Arizona head coach for 1 season, and he's alleging that he was what they call a bridge coach.
He was an intern, like a real coach.
Yeah, they had a coach in waiting, but they just had him there, and he wasn't given the resources nor the tools to
Sounds about right.
have a successful season. And he's saying like the coach that's there not is being successful, but if he was given the same opportunities,
that's usually the case. Usually, when a black coach is even given a head job, his quarterback is trash.
Yeah.
You cannot win without a star quarterback.
Yeah.
That's the foundation of all. It's like a point guard. Mm-hmm. Having or a big man, that is going to transcend the game of basketball. So without those resources available to the head coach, who's also usually not allowed to pick his own staff,
right?
You're handicapped, and you are just a token in a position that until something, so they circumvent the Rooney Rule. They circumvent it by allowing you to be there 1 year and say, look, we hired him, and then we go ahead and fire him and move on. So these other coaches are joining this.
Like to fill a quarter, like every 3-year quarter, like we kind of do need a black coach, right?
Right, somebody black. Now they've created something where you have to have black offensive coordinators. Or minority offensive, because the very next position below the coach is the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So defensive coordinators, they give it to black people because they think defense is just savages. They just running around, tackling people. They feel the intellectual part of the game relies with the X's and O's of the offense. And if you have an offensive mind that you can transfer over to coach. But just because you're an offensive coordinator doesn't mean you are a leader of men. That was your man Myers' problem, Urban Myers.
Oh, yeah.
He came with that college mentality to the pros, and they got his ass out of here real quick.
They keep bringing up new information on him. And
it's just ridiculous.
It's just even worse and worse.
It's worse and worse and worse. So the leader of men has more to do with getting your team behind you to get them to perform. Yeah. And, of course, you need to have X's and O's.
So, So, at the start of this lawsuit, I said, this is a bad idea because, like, you're blackballing yourself. You're never going to get a job again. But Brian Flores got a job.
He did.
There's 2 more coaches adding on to it. So, like, do you think, like, they are seeing, like, a different piece of the chessboard? Like, we could pressure them and we are still, like, good to
perhaps
work?
Because I didn't go. Well, you know me. I'm like, this shit is dumb.
Yeah.
They're gonna fire you.
Yeah.
And he's proven. So maybe he had a long-term plan because you really just need more coaches to get behind you. The more coaches, and it needs to be white coaches behind you too, that also say we recognize and we see the problem too. Because if white coaches just look the other way because they're getting a job,
they need to be like really tenured coaches.
They have to be tenured.
Because one of these coaches, I'm not sure if it was Wilkes or if it was Horton, he has audio in which he can prove that he interviewed for a job and it was already promised to somebody else. So they just kind of interviewed him for the Rooney Rule.
Right.
Like he was like that. It was a sham interview.
Yeah, they're all sham interviews for the most part. So there needs to be tenured white coaches, Belichick, and a few others who go, I've been in this business a long time. And for me to act like I don't see that there's an injustice, that's the problem. And that's the problem in everyday white America as well. Right? You see the fucking problem, but you reap the benefits of racism. So don't tell me you're not a racist, but yet you're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
That means you like, oh, I'm good. That's not none of my business. And that leads to the problem. So it has to become, you got to get active in them fields and go, like for instance, Popovich.
Yeah.
In the NBA, he's always active on those issues. He's like, yo, I see this bullshit going on. So you need people, white and black, to all get behind that movement. Then the movement will have life. They also got the other issues in the NFL with sex discrimination. They're bringing the NFL up on a lot of different...
Sex discrimination?
Yeah, I mean, sexual harassment, I'm sorry.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in them offices.
Okay.
That is starting to the Washington Redskins is the absolute worst.
Oh, yeah, you mean the Commanders?
Yeah, the Commanders now is what they call them. So, but that's a template that's, you know what I mean? Remember, Mark Cuban went through that. And somebody blew the whistle on... one of his general managers, he had to fire him and try to clean it up. But the culture in a lot of these organizations, because they think they can do what they want to do. So I am one to say I was wrong early on.
Oh, I was dead ass wrong. I'm like, this is over. And then they got hired. He got hired to the Steelers.
And if he gets momentum, I'm going to get behind him.
And I remember Belichick, he should get behind this because he kind of started this.
Yeah, Belichick started this shit.
He the one that got
caught. I fucked up.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah, that wasn't for you. That was white Brian.
Yeah.
You black Brian? Is this black Brian? Sorry about that.
I got to update my contact list.
Yeah, I got to update my contact list. So he the one who kind of put the final nail in that. So if he's still going to get a job and not be silent, because I thought once he got the job, he was going to be like, all right, well, I'm working.
Yeah.
It was
Me too. I thought like the lawsuit was just going to magically just disappear.
Right. Now, and that's not to discount that it might.
No,
because the NFL is very, their money is long, and they have ways to pat you on the back and make you forget about your cause.
Yes.
I went down there to fight them, Malcolm.
Yes.
And they were giving out supervisory positions.
I know, but maybe they don't need all the bad press because it seems because you just spoke about the Washington situation. Like that's about the owner.
Yes.
They've been trying to get that owner out for a while.
Yes.
And the media is kind of behind that.
Yes.
So maybe if you kind of connect a few dots, like get owners to, yo, I know this about you.
Right.
Maybe we could do something. I don't know.
But you're not going to force these white owners of these football teams, and this is just their toys. You're not going to force them to hire niggas.
Right.
You can say what you want. You're not gonna tell me who to hire.
Yeah, that's a real weird thing because I hire who I want to hire, right? So that's
I hire who affirmative action.
No.
Well, what movie is that? Undercover Brother.
Right.
So what the fuck is this white dude doing? Hey man, affirmative action.
Yeah, I mean, because like that's a really just odd thing. Like I feel he does the job better. Like you can always just lean on to just preference or how you feel,
but they stick together. Them 32 owners.
Too. So like, I'm wondering like, how do you do this? Like, how do you like really argue that you're giving a fair shake?
We're gonna stay tuned. All
right.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So, we're at war. America's at war and stuff. Or America's not at war, but America's trying to go to war. Supposedly food shortages and stuff like that. But I forgot about aliens. I totally forgot.
How could you forget about aliens?
Totally forgot about aliens. Like, I forgot that's on the horizon. So apparently, there have been UFO sightings that left witnesses with radiation burns, brain damage, perceived time suspension,
pregnancy,
unexplained pregnancies.
It's not unexplained. How you think Mary got pregnant?
Aliens
in the Bible.
Aliens.
How? Alien nigga came down, shot that up. Anyway, but continue.
But yeah, this was a report that was compiled from like 2010 that was just released, and like all of these like effects, rashes, amnesia.
That's all government shit, man.
Sexual encounters.
All government.
Yeah. Okay.
All your government or another government.
Okay.
I'm telling you that again. Linear minds thinking straight lines.
Oh my god! You're gonna see it on a T-shirt next week.
Y'all can borrow that, right?
You're gonna see that on a T-shirt next week.
But even me, I'm not saying I don't go linear. I'm going linear here to say if you have the capabilities to interstellar travel through dimensions, right? That means you are so far more advanced than me. You come here to hurt me. That makes no sense whatsoever. Unless your government is trying out new shit to fuck with people.
Or they just that evil of a civilization. Duh.
No, there's universal laws. The Galactic Confederation won't allow you to interfere with other civilizations who are progressively on their way. You can only plant seeds to help advance the civilization. You cannot stunt the spiritual growth or capture a lower vibratory frequency of a people. You cannot do that. All right, according to the Confederation.
That's according to
the Confederation.
Okay, my bad.
You read the Anunnaki handbook. You can't do that shit, right? So, with that being said, that just makes no sense to me.
Okay.
If I can literally just travel to an ancient time and just beat people up,
I would.
And just have the Uzi with me.
I would.
Like, yo, everybody back up.
I would. I'm not gonna lie.
And I got the
I think I would.
And they start running this shit.
I go to Roman Coliseum, air that thing out.
Build that shit to me, son. I mean, how? What does that
do? It.
What does that do? Now I might get some alien ass. I'm gonna get some alien ass.
Oh man.
Wherever I stop off on the timeline, I'm gonna get a little alien ass. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just go kill. That's like seeing an ant pile.
Yeah.
And them ants been working for years. That shit has got intricate tunnels. They got a civilization. They got schools. They got colleges, farms. They got dudes who just came out of ant prison trying to get their life together. And I just whoof, or I just piss on their civilization. Just one of them long pisses. Come on, man. And then walk away like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just destroyed a civilization. Come on, man. So no, if they have the ability to come here and bend space and time and all that shit, I think they're here to observe and maybe stop us from hurting ourselves. They did have a report that these two orbs was following this Navy ship. Yeah. And, so they also have been saying around a lot of the so-called nuclear plants, a lot of that stuff has been disengaged. So maybe they're over to make sure we don't hurt ourselves. Because if we go atomic, it doesn't just affect us. It affects other universes. Right? So that's just my thinking.
Okay.
Right? That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm with you.
So when I see a real, like if I run, I told you run. Just run when you see it. But if you see like screws or panels, panels?
Yeah, screwdriver.
And screwdriver? Aliens. That's all.
They got drill guns.
Government shit. Don't. Because they got to hit you with the fake shit so that you can just become confused.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just me, guys. Just me.
You're listening to the sounds of Urban X.
Yo, so did anybody ever confirm if those comments by Jada were real about her not wanting Will to do that, or she didn't like him doing
I didn't confirm, but
if that's true,
but that sounds along the lines of what she would say.
God.
She's a narcissist, bro. Listen, you can't make a woman, and I discussed this on Eli's show. Me, Eli, and Freddie, we have our moments where we get off the subject of sports.
Yeah.
You cannot make a woman love you that don't love you. You just can't. You could try harder and harder. She just don't want you.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a very awkward situation because he tried to morph.
Charger.
He tried to morph into Tupac.
Yeah.
He tried to morph into Tupac. That was a Tupac move.
Yeah.
And it still didn't work. She's like, I didn't tell you to do that. You know what I mean? So I really don't know. And if he's forced to sit down at the red table,
he better not.
Her show to try to pump her shit up.
He better not.
To give his life out again. And he's crying, looking like a pitiful man. I don't want to see it, bro. I don't want to see it. I really don't.
Apparently, the Academy is kind of split down the middle on whether they should strip his Oscar or not. I don't think they should.
I don't think they should.
Been Oscars awarded to way worse.
Yeah, he earned it. If you said he won it, he won it.
In the back.
What he has done, as a part of that, maybe just suspend him a year or two. It's already going to affect his money.
Yeah.
right? With movies and Bad Boy.
We said that, like, the movies have been, like, put on hold.
A lot of movies been put on hold, so we know that's going to be affected and things of that nature. But to strip him, and Harvey Weinstein probably got 6 of them shits. Woody Allen, who married that 14-year-old girl who was his daughter.
Yeah, that was nasty.
That was nasty. You know, the list goes on and on. I forget the other guy who went to jail. It's just a lot of stuff, and they kept their Oscars. So I'm not advocating for him to lose his Oscar. But at the end of the day, if a woman don't love you,
I really hope those comments are not true. I really, really do. Because that's terrible. That's embarrassing.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So we spoke about the Amir Locke situation, who was shot and killed during a no-knock warrant in Minnesota. That was being served in Minnesota. Me and you watched the video before.
Yes.
Right? So the cop will not be charged for that. Because...
Even though they were in the wrong place or something? Or he wasn't the one that they were after?
He wasn't. Yeah, no, he wasn't.
Right. He had a licensed pistol, but it just was weird that he had his gun in his hand. To me, I mean, unless he lived in a neighborhood that forced him, that whole thing was just a little weird to me.
You know what? In other states, in New York, breaking and entering is like, those home invasions are not a thing.
Right.
That we really need to worry about. So I don't know how that is, right?
Right.
I just don't understand like that type of thinking. But if you are living in some place where that's just a regular thing, people just breaking your house, trying to get you, then I'm sure, and especially if you got a legal one, then you probably just are wired to just have it on you and wired to just point.
Point taken.
One of the cops in the Breonna Taylor situation was on this podcast because he has a book coming out. And he was talking about his story. He was giving his side of the story as to what happened, right? And remember, we were told, like, it was a no-knock warrant. She was killed while she was sleeping. They just came in shooting, and, you know, Kenneth Walker returned fire and things like that. He said they did knock, and then he said, first off, the judge granted them a no-knock warrant at first, but as a result of who they were looking for and things like that, as a result of the actual, like, situation, it didn't really call for a no-knock warrant, so they gave him a regular warrant. He said that he knocked, and a neighbor actually came out of their apartment and said, like, yo, what that? And then they had to force him to go back into his apartment. He said, so we have a witness, like, came out, right? And he said, we were dressed, we had on plain clothes, but we had on our vest that said police on the front of it. He said, then they got in, and Breonna Taylor was awake. And she was standing behind Kenneth Walker, who shooting and stuff like that. So, not to say that she deserved that, because I don't think that at all, but just the narrative that was fed to us.
Listen,
especially that year, that was 2020, that was crazy. Yeah,
they suppress information on both sides of these stories, so don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? It's important for black people and Crumb and all of them to make sure that the narrative stays that this was an innocent victim, and she was. Yeah. So they're going to push the narrative, and they will suppress things that maybe don't support that. The police officer's job is to point them or paint them as heroes who are doing their job, and as a result, they too will suppress. Let's just be honest about this kind of stuff. So these things happen all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why it's hard for us, because we're not even getting third-hand information.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're getting fourth and fifth-hand information, and we're being forced to put our emotions into this.
No, I didn't say I believe anybody. I just said that's what he said. That's what I said. Right,
that's what he said.
I just said that's what he said.
We just adding on from his perspective what he said. So, and I just got finished saying, there's the truth is so many sides. There's their side, her side, and the truth. Now, if you're just going to believe 110% that this girl, the narrative, then that's a form of victim consciousness. Point blank. I don't care how you dress it up. If you really want to delve into what's his face, George Floyd's story, your feelings are going to get hurt. If you really, because he knew that cop. Yeah. Him and that cop worked in clubs and bounced. And so that changes the entire narrative. I'm not talking about him getting killed. Why was his neck? Now I need to know why his knee Was his knee on his neck for reasons other than a chance stop?
Yeah.
Because
and the reason why that's important, because remember, when that first happened, talking about George Floyd now, when that first happened, that was a big thing. They knew each other. And then once the whole court stuff happened,
they just tucked it under the rug.
They completely stopped talking about it, because then the murder charge gets like bumped up a little bit. It's not just
that's premeditated.
I know you.
Now this shit is premeditated. That's my point. So I'm not saying in any way, shape, form, or fashion that George Floyd deserved. That's not what I mean. The fact that cop knew him made the charges even worse.
So now, right? So now, because people, they got upset, they think I believe the cop. What I'm saying is, if he's saying that, and he's saying that he said that the state actually blocked the release of the actual warrant, right? So if that's the case, so that kind of changes narrative. So now, why is the state blocking that? Right? Well, like, why is the state covering up information at that point? So it's just mad questions.
Just mad questions.
Mad questions.
And this is why I'm going to sew this up with a bow for you. This is why I always tell you, do not lead with your emotions in any of this.
Oh, my God.
Because if you do, it's going to lead you down, we shall overcome, we were the victims, they did wrong, and blah, blah, blah. And there'd be other pieces to the story that you go, that just didn't make any sense. Now, Malcolm just helped me understand why homie would have his gun in his hand, because in different states, I didn't think about that.
Like we don't deal with home invasions here.
We don't deal with, I would never have to sleep with the joint on me in New York unless I was selling drugs, and always got to be on the alert. That's a little bit different. They just ran up in this dude's house in Brooklyn and took $200,000 out the safe. Obviously, why would you have $200,000 in your safe?
Right.
Some people was watching you. So when you get down to what each side, it's their job. You're trying to tell me, what's the famous black lawyer who protected OJ?
Cochran.
You trying to tell me Cochran didn't suppress a lot of things he knew? It's my job as your lawyer to make sure my client is always seen in the best light. And if that means make them seem like a victim of all sorts, I'm going to do that. All this cop was doing was telling you his side of the story and why the state was suppressing certain things. And that's all. That's all.
Yeah, I've always said you got to watch things that just kind of... You gotta watch things that kind of just go completely against what you believe. I don't know. That's what I do now, and it's helped me strengthen like my arguments and strengthen just kind of my belief system as well.
Well, I never lead with my emotions.
Yeah, exactly. If I believe this, and this person is putting together an argument to just completely go against that, sometimes I have to take that. Like, I didn't think about that.
That's called being objective.
Yeah, like, okay.
Our people are emotional,
and
they're not objective.
You know what helps?
And they don't even like to look at the fact that the media uses that to push narratives. This is what I mean. We got to grow above that. You know what I mean? That man knew George Floyd. That lady said both of them niggas worked at my goddamn club, and it had something to do with counterfeit money. You know what I'm saying? And why she had to fire both of them.
Yeah.
So now the charges against, and we just ran with the narrative, okay, I can't breathe. But this shit was deeper than that, and I don't think the government wanted to. It's like the Biggie Smalls case. A perfect example. The Biggie Smalls case is so many holes in that case. We know the the LAPD was involved from the top to the bottom, but it would collapse their whole police system. So they gotta, run with the narrative that, it was a lone gunman who did it.
Yeah.
It just benefits them. Minnesota could not deal with the fact that these dudes knew each other.
It completely just ignored that.
And completely ignored. I didn't ignore it.
Yeah, I was just like, I thought they...
I was like, that's interesting.
Because I remember when the charge came down, it was like they charged him with second degree. We had a conversation on this podcast about it, and I'm just like, if they knew each other, that would kind of...
Change everything
that would change a little bit of the motivation, wouldn't it? Because it's not just
everything for me. So it's not a chance encounter.
Where something just went wrong.
Yep. Not a chance encounter.
Yeah.
And two things can be true at the same time.
All facts. You're right.
All facts.
All facts. Somebody said, hold on. Somebody said, hold on. It was a good. Somebody said, Malcolm, I'm sorry, but that's not how the streets and police go. Facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Facts.
Police, like, I don't trust the police.
Mm-hmm.
You? I mean, if I need them,
yeah.
If I need them, I'll call them. But other than that, I don't. So that's it.
You are tuned into the sounds.
I had another point to make about that, but I can't. I forget.
Yeah, don't worry, we have our own show. We can always come back to it.
This is true. Very true. So, if you guys remember the Apple AirTags that you can like attach to your keys or something like that, and then you can always find it because
that shit is dangerous.
Or you can put it on your laptop and stuff like that. Well, people are using it for stalking and kidnapping. They're putting it in people's cars.
Yeah, I had to kind of put Odyssey on to.
Yeah, they attack. They put it in. Yeah, it's crazy.
You got to look up under your car every now and then because that became. When we start thinking about sex trafficking, and now you literally can follow the people that you looking after.
Yeah,
man, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yeah, and
I don't know why Apple thought that would be a good idea.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea because I remember at first when hearing about this, I was like, that's kind of wild. But then it was like, nah, you'll get an alert when somebody else's AirTag is on you.
It's always a way around that shit. Always a way around that shit. So ladies, always. Just pay attention as much as you can. I believe there's Apple is trying to create fix the software where you can know if you're being tracked.
Because that's crazy.
For more reasons than you can imagine. You get your license and you say you a willing donor. Don't ever put that on your license that you can have my organs when I die because they will come get them shits now.
Yeah.
And if you fit the profile of an organ they need, and now they don't even have to get you all at once. They can just put this up under your car and wait for the opportune time for them to execute. You just made their job a little bit more easier.
Yeah, people.
So we don't want to do that to our sisters out there.
That was the point I was going to make on the Breonna Taylor and George Floyd stuff. Because we were talking about, because somebody said, well, why would... they hide stuff and things like that, and everything being true at the same time. Once narratives are formed, then money can be moved.
Yes.
Right? And we just talked about on Monday, Black Lives Matter using some of that money that they made $90 million that year.
$90 million.
Upwards of $90 million, I think a little over. And they got caught spending $6 million, which is kind of a drop in the bucket out of $90 million, but $6 million in a mansion. And they were trying to. An email got leaked of them trying to figure out how we're gonna spend this. Like, now that was supposed to be like a group home. That was gonna be a community center. That was just gonna be an influence of how And we're seeing this time and time again when it comes to these organizations and when it comes to just propaganda. You're watching propaganda in this Ukraine-Russia stuff.
We're watching propaganda. 95% of the shit we watch on TV
seriously,
is propaganda.
It's propaganda, and for both sides.
Absolutely.
For both sides, right? So if the propaganda for, the Black Lives Matter, the organization, not the boots on the ground, but the organization benefits them to push this story, and you get Ben Crump out there, you get all these people out there to get people upset.
And the ambulance chasers, as we call them, the same suspects out there creating this narrative, and it creates money. Because all Big Crump and them want is a check. All Sharpton and them want is their check, and they will disappear. Mm-hmm. But they're not leaving until they get their check. So this is all politics, all money, and like I said, it works on both ways. We know the police department is corrupt, but let's not act like some of these people are saints. Or that there are not things that we may have held to make us look good in the broader scope of things.
The last point I'll make on this is, if you just go by statistics, right, of black people being unjustly killed and things like that, from not even just police, but just being unjustly killed or racist motivations and things like that. If every one of those stories were covered the same way, then that's all we would hear about. But because some stories have certain juice to it, we could go with that.
We can run with this.
We can run with that. Oh,
right.
We could.
That's a political firebomb.
That could make somebody's election year right there.
Right.
Oh, that if he says, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's the point I'm trying to make.
So back to the original point, why was the officer let off? Did they say he feared for his life? Because that's the shit they used. He saw a gun That's all he know. He was there to see somebody. I'm pretty sure he said the magic words, I feared for my life. Even though this man had a licensed gun and he wasn't the one you was after, they hold police officers in the highest standard and give them leeway, you and I know it, to do all kind of weird shit. But what about me fearing for my life? Somebody bust in my door, I'm legally carrying, I feared for my life too. Had he shot one of those police officers with his legal gun, his ass would be in jail.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Yeah.
Or he would have a very hard case to fight because the guy in the Breonna Taylor case, he walked, yes?
I think so, yeah, he did. Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, I think he walked, but you don't want that kind of smoke. So I'm pretty sure it had something to do with that.
Yeah. So we'll take another commercial break. We'll be back.
And then we will be back on fire. So, you want to know what we do and how we do it. Well, we got a step-by-step booklet for you to get to keep your game on track.
Yes, so we are introducing the family business course, right? Where we're teaching 4 different components on running an online family business. That's podcasting, YouTube, self-publishing, and t-shirt printing.
And
right?
we also have a bonus course.
We do. We also have a bonus course teaching how to build your own membership.
Yes.
And how we were able to build our own as well. Step by step, line by line. We teach you even how to make the actual software for the membership. We teach you how to do all of that stuff.
Crazy.
Right? And an extra bonus is I threw in the ebook to Urban Excellence along with the video interviews. Never before seen the footage.
Drop the mic.
Never before seen footage. And the reason why I did that is because I want to show families the 11 stories of people who also created their own businesses as well, who also overcame trials and tribulations as well. And I think it's all relevant to, building your family business. So that's what we want you to go get.
We have a free ebook. It's absolutely free. And we have free online training, a free mini course to get you started.
Yes.
We recommend that you download, hit the link below, get the free ebook.
Yes.
Take the free training, and then take that leap. And we're going to be here every step of the way.
Yes. So hit the link below and visit www.urbanx.nyc/family. Or just hit the link below.
Peace.
Peace.
Hello, wealthy family. This is Shanell, the Ascending Infinite Goddess, and I am happy to announce that I am back and in full effect, ready to work with you on your spiritual journey. Whether you're looking to balance your chakras with an infusion of Reiki energy, or you're looking to connect with your spirit team with an angel oracle reading and get some clarification or confirmation on your love life or your career, finances, or just life in general. Or perhaps you're looking for a non-judgmental, safe space to receive some mental ease, I am here to help you. So be sure to visit my website, www.ascendinginfinitegoddess.com. See all the services that I provide. Get to know me a little bit better. And also, feel free to visit my YouTube channel, Ascending Infinite Goddess, and see hundreds of videos that I have available for free to help you on your spiritual journey. Until we connect again, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love. Peace.
I feel big, like Bigfoot big. Like,
tell me, what do you notice about your body?
Claws.
Your feet?
They look big.
What are you wearing?
Fur.
What else do you notice?
Just like wood, Their eyes are kind of green, yellowish, kind of cat eyes.
What color are you?
Brown. And I'm so loud. I'm strong. I'm like roaring. I see an animal. I feel like an animal. I feel ancient.
Looking at the moon at the top of this mountain. What's happening there with you?
I'm about to hunt.
Tell me what happens next.
Something attacks me. It seems really big. It's like dragon. It's got huge claws, wings, greenish. It looks kind of translucent. I see fire. I feel scared. There's other animals coming now, like a big bobcat. I'm just laying there.
What are these other animals doing?
They're eating me.
We are back.
Thank you guys for joining us, for being here.
We
always appreciate the love and support. If you like what you see so far, just hit like.
Yes, give us a like or two. We appreciate that on a Thursday night.
Yes, and if you're listening, give us a rating and a comment.
And a bump on the horn.
So appreciated.
We like that.
Right.
You know?
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So T.I. was in the news the other day because he took the mic from a comedian that was on stage, and they were going at it, and then I guess because she said something about his sexual assault accusations and stuff like that, then he took the mic. Then I saw her response video say he was heckling me.
Yes.
Told me to take my wig off or something like that. Then I responded to him, and then that's when you see the video unfold and stuff like that. Now, I only thought that was interesting because you wanted to be a comedian.
Yes.
Right? You were saying, like, you were doing all this, you wanted to be a comedian. You were defending your right to be a comedian because you're saying, like, you're working at this, and then somebody says something a little flagrant to you.
Right.
And it's a problem.
Because that comes with the territory. Every comedian knows when you're doing these clubs and people are drunk, and it's usually, unless you're doing concerts, it's very intimate setting, and you got to be able to deal with all kind of hecklers. That comes with the territory. Now, at a rap concert, you really don't have to deal with hecklers as much. They here for the music. But if you can't dish it and then you can't take it, because if I'm in the crowd, I'm like, yo, 1-800-TIP, nigga. What's up with them gun charges, nigga? All I want to know is how you beat them charges, my nigga. Those federal charges, my nigga. How you beat them charges? If you can't, because somebody's going to say that. Somebody is going to say, how the hell you beat them federal charges when there is no negotiating with the feds when you get caught with machine guns? Huh? Silencers.
Yeah.
Huh? And if you're going to lose your mind, tomorrow is your birthday, Jasmine Jones.
Oh,
absolutely. Shout outs to you.
Happy birthday. I think you had a Chicago, right?
Yeah, all right.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. So somebody's going to say that.
Yeah.
Somebody's going, and if he don't have thick enough skin to deal with that, then
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And which ties back into the Will Smith situation. These are comedians. And comedians say things that are out of pocket, especially live. And
I think she was like that was like an open mic night. So she's just like,
she was just up there. She's an up and coming.
Yeah, so you heckling.
Yeah.
Like you ain't even really made your bones yet.
Right. So heckling. Why you even exactly. So I don't know if he's funny. I haven't heard any of his stand up yet. But I'm about funny. So if it is funny, I don't care who's delivering it.
Yeah.
So I want to give him his proper time when I see him put together 20 minutes. Give me 20, 25 minutes of some stand-up to see if you're funny. If he's not, then, you coming into a field where people work their whole lives for that. Yeah. It's sort of like when all them rappers took all them actors' jobs. Them actors were pissed, man. You know what I mean? And, Ice-T, and he was worse. This man shot down on 74th Street. Let's see what it is. That was just, it's like, God damn, like, can you add something to the role? So, now, some of them were able to, Will Smith, some of them were able to transcend and work at their craft. But it was at one point an influx of, let's just put rappers in these roles. Because we're trying to cross-promote.
Yeah.
So when them comics are a very finicky bunch, man.
Yeah, they are. They are. They really, really are. I've been like all the comedians I listen to them on podcasts and stuff, and like some of like the unwritten rules like they have for each other.
Right.
Like if I'm closing, like you can't do like your best stuff in front of me because like I'm the main show. Like you don't do that.
Yeah. They always situate that.
Like, don't do that. You know what I mean?
You know, they look out for each other in weird ways, and that's what Godfrey's issue was. I just closed the show.
Yeah.
I just did that damn thing, and you know the energy was here, and then you jumped on top of that energy I already built, and saw an opportunity to get your shit off. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And as a result, that's you don't do that.
Yeah, man.
And you know, and so you know they went through their situation. I'm pretty sure it's resolved.
Yeah, I think they squashed it.
Yeah, they resolved it, but you know, it is what it is. It's my daughter, Indigo, 11th born on Saturday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Indigo. 11th born day. I like it.
Nice.
Still has her innocence. She's still no mommy. She's looking at mommy. You know what I mean? She's still wondering about the world. I like it. I want to shout out my niece, Chelsea. She got straight A's.
Oh, nice.
Like A's on top of A's on top of A's.
Nice.
I'm like, damn, well, what is there to strive for? Because, you know, I'm a heckler with that kind of stuff. Well, you got a 90. You probably could have got a 95. Yeah. Shut up, Dad. You know, and she's just banging them out, so shout her out.
Dope.
Tony Lanez has coughed up extra ball money because of some tweets.
Yes. So Tory Lanez, he got arrested, or he got like, they kind of like reprimanded him, right? Because when academics came out with that information that said his DNA wasn't on the gun, and Tory Lanez was tweeting around about the situation. They had a court date, and then they came up. They presented the tweets. It was like he's clearly like harassing her and things like that. So they arrested him, and then he had to shell out some bail money or some bond money. I think it was bail money.
Okay.
To get out. He was out in a couple hours, but
he said he has alopecia too.
Alopecia, yes.
Alopecia.
Does he? Like, was he joking?
I think he has a bald spot in the top of his head.
Oh, okay. I thought he was joking because you know.
Yeah, no, I think I think he does. Well, that's what he said. I don't know.
So, interesting. The other day, the Washington Post did an article about billionaires, being a part of these social media apps will make it worse for freedom of speech and things like that because they can control it. Mind you, the Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos.
Yes. So what the hell is he talking about?
The irony in that
is crazy.
Hilarious.
Follow the money.
Hilarious.
Follow the money.
But it's also funny because I remember talking about this. It's also funny seeing like billionaires in like two separate, I guess, spots warring with each other, like subtly warring. You know what I mean? Like Tim Cook and Mark Zuckerberg, they've been beefing for a while. Apple and Facebook, they've been beefing for a while, and they do subtle stuff. Like now, Apple products, you can ask Facebook not to track you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do these things, and now that messes up Facebook's revenue because they get their money from ads, and they get their that messes up. So it's really like interesting watching the tactics, especially when you know who owns these corporations and how they do things to kind of undermine each other.
Yeah, hey Aris, how you doing today?
Very fascinating.
Very nice for you to join us.
Yes, we were just talking about you.
You're a little, tardy. Somebody said they're getting married on the 22nd. Oh, congratulations.
Yo.
All right, you have made the decision. I like it. Speaking of billionaires, Jeff Bezos' wife.
Oh yeah,
ex-wife is donating $275 billion to Planned Parenthood to help black women get abortions.
Did you say specifically black?
I read the quote.
Damn.
Yeah. She wants to help you guys get abortions. So thank her.
Wow.
Yeah. Because she knows that you guys need that help.
Yeah. I'm very tired of that narrative. I'm very tired of black people can't get IDs. black people can't vote, or like, you know what I'm saying? We
do anything the fuck we want to do.
Yeah, like some of these resources, like I feel like
Tito Sanders, I was making a funny. I was trying to be sarcastic with the clapping. I wasn't saying, yeah, I'm just saying, look at who, is behind these narratives. Yeah, straight minds think, in linear lines.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm tired of that because it just seems like, one, that's agenda. Right?
Yeah.
When we know about Planned Parenthood, we know like where they are and things like
that. Right.
That's agenda. And the way that, like I was just saying, the way that we even kind of speak about black people and black women and the black family is just like, well, they just have these uncontrollable kids. Like,
right.
They having
out
kids
of control.
They don't even wait 9 months. Like, they just popping them out every 3 days, and we need something to do because they don't have the resources.
So
to stop
I'm going to take it upon myself.
Yeah, it's just
to be a hero.
Yeah, it's weird
to help them with these problem of these children, knowing the only way we can continue to be here is through children. Last I checked.
Yeah.
Unless the aliens are spraying alien juice around and radiation, and people are just having alien babies. Unless that's happening, yeah. So it is what it is.
So we were talking about Eric Adams earlier because he unveiled his budget plans.
$98 billion budget, but no cuts to the police department.
Of course not. He's a cop.
And he's cutting education. He's cutting the homeless programs. He's cutting a lot of programs, and then he's going to street now because now they done moved the homeless above ground.
Yeah.
Out of the subways, and now they're coming through knocking down their tents.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you go about removing the homeless who feel it's safer to be on the streets than in some of these shelters because of the horrible conditions that goes on in these shelters. America has a problem. It's not just in New York. It's the homeless problem in America has to be addressed on levels beyond.
Oh, it's 275 million, not billion.
I said billion. I'm sorry, million. Billion. I'm sorry, it is million.
Thank you, J Bags.
275.
Still a lot of money.
That's still a lot of money. Still a lot of money.
I got it.
And so America has a homeless problem in these cities, and I don't know. Again, I'm not a politician, and I told you my secret sauce is always perspective. If I'm the mayor and I have a city going to shits. The crime is up everywhere. The homelessness is up everywhere. I can't keep. Was this a shout out night? God damn it!
Yeah,
damn it!
You open up the floodgates.
You open up the floodgates. Come on now.
Happy birthday to everybody.
Happy birthday to everybody. God damn it now.
Sorry
about that.
Yeah.
So if I was the mayor, I don't know how I would.
Yeah.
Go about because crime is through the roof right now. Homelessness is through the roof. So how do the educational system sucks. Pandemics and all kind of stuff. So it's easy for me to sit here.
It feels like, especially for Eric Adams, I'm not sure about other states, but here, it feels like he's making like one move at a time without thinking about the moves that follow or the repercussions that follow those moves. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just going.
He's just making a move.
Yeah.
And then go, oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, let's make that move.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I didn't think about that.
Get them off the streets.
We're gonna get the homeless off. Where they gonna go?
Bust down the tents.
Yeah. Like I didn't think about that.
Shove them in that hotel right there. Knock the hotel down. Yeah, what the fuck, man?
They were talking. You sent me an article about there's so many eviction notices being passed in New York City or being like.
The courts are overwhelmed.
Yeah, like people don't have lawyers.
People can't even afford lawyers. That's how overwhelmed because for every action there's a reaction, right? So you had the pandemic and you had situations where
you stopped work
and people can't pay their rent. People are given leeways and extensions, and now it's time to pay the piper. Again, perspective. I'm a landlord. I own this property. I got to pay oil. I got to pay lighting. I got repairs. How do I get my bills paid when my bills is contingent on you paying your bills? And now you're a squatter. and the government is giving me some kind of subsidies, but not enough to sufficiently hold me down. And now we have problems because now I got to evict you. I don't want to evict you, but my family can't survive. Yeah, so this is a tough situation. Unless it's all being done by design.
Hell yeah, it is. I was about to say that because what's about to happen is like these landlords like say themselves like I can't do this no more. I don't have like I'm not making no money. This property is not making no money. It's actually losing me money now.
Yes.
And then BlackRock comes in.
Yes.
Goes, I'll take it.
I'll take it off your hand. Their money is long.
Yeah.
And eventually they get you out of there. You know what I'm saying, furbish shit, fix it up, and sell it for 5 times the value of what it's worth. That's the way the game goes, guys.
It's crazy. And then I remember during the whole pandemic, Trump was just like, yo, if we don't come back to work, we'll have nothing to come back to.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And people were saying, no, you're trying to kill babies. Get out of here. And then when somebody else says it like, yo, and then you see the repercussions of people not working, then how that just kind of creates a ripple effect that benefits the system now, because like I said, if BlackRock buys it, that's corporation money, and they're buying up every piece of real estate in the country, and they're destroying like the housing market. They're pumping it up, and then that bursts, and then now people can't buy houses. And then, like it's just always a problem.
And the domino effect from that too, Malcolm, is crime goes up.
Yeah.
Now I got this mask on my face that you're telling me I need to wear.
Right.
This crime is easy now.
Right.
Because you can't identify me in a court of law.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible. I was wearing a mask.
That you told me to wear.
That you told me to wear.
Yeah.
So now crime is up.
Yeah.
Drugs are up because people are depressed. Suicide rates are up. Teen pregnant, all of these things. Being at home, they said the molestation rates went up because of the alcoholic, and now the dad or the uncle was. It's a domino effect of things that this shit is collapsing, bro.
Jeez.
This is a cesspool. I'm waiting for them to give me my ticket out of here. I will go to the year 1. Fuck it. I'll be there with Cain and Abel and them and shit.
Kevin Ramsey said everyone's hiring, so what's the problem? Listen, man, I heard there like a lot of these tech businesses, a lot of these big tech companies are doing like paid apprenticeships, where you could learn like actually how to do the job, and they're paying you to learn so they can start hiring.
Well, Kevin Ramsey, the problem is people are not qualified to fill the jobs of the future. That's the problem. If you don't know how to code, if you don't know how this AI metaverse, unless you're talking driving a truck. Now, Walmart is paying $100,000 to drive a truck. So if you can get your Class A CDL license, and you want to drive up and down, interstate, that's some bread for you. You can, but it's going to be long hours. If you got a family at home.
Oh, yeah.
If you got kids at home, you want to help finish, their report card and all that. That's not for you.
Yeah.
But the world is changing, and you have to qualify and disqualify yourself based on the new skill set you've learned. All of this sit at the office and answer phones and type, that whole paradigm is gone. So you better have intellectual property or specific skill sets that you can pull off, and you can pull them off from your computer. We teaching a course on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Nice plug.
So,
And inflation is up.
Yes.
Inflation is up. And then there's manufacturing inflation. I watched a really good video. I have to... This guy named Michael Slayer, I think his name is. He's like a Bitcoin billionaire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about inflation, but he was talking about how inflation, like, how you can manipulate stats. I can manipulate what inflation is based on what the hell I'm talking about. I can manipulate. I could say inflation is this because I'm talking about assets. I could say inflation is this because I'm really talking about this. It was a fascinating way because I've never heard money be spoken
of
about
in that
like
magnitude.
in that magnitude, right? But we're at war right now with a country that has nothing to do with anything to do with this country, but all of a sudden it's going to cause food shortages.
Yeah. Houseway.
All of a sudden it's causing gas to go up. How's that happening? You know what I mean?
Right.
So all these things, there be one move that affects all these other things. I saw on Twitter the other day, Shannon Sharp said he's willing to pay $20 for gas a gallon just if Trump is not in. You know what I'm saying? That's short-sighted, emotional ass thinking that doesn't get us anywhere.
Yep.
Quaness, all numbers could be manipulated. That is a fact.
Yeah, facts.
And Jay Bryson said, plus they want your guns. That too, man.
Yeah, well, it opens up Pandora's box of another things. I just know New York City, the energy here right now is crazy. And it's easy for me, and I'm not taking up for the mayor because you know how I feel about that. But I'm saying, as the mayor, what do you do? We need to run a poll on that.
What?
If you was the mayor, what the fuck would you do?
Got you.
With crime up, with this up, how would you go about and give 5 answers and you choose an answer or something? That gets our people involved because I'm curious to know what you think. Because it's easier for us to sit here, you know, on our podcast. Oh, yo, they need to do this and they need to do that. When you are the one under that pressure,
yeah,
bruh.
No facts,
bruh.
All facts.
You think you want to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company? You think so?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I was thinking about that. Like, how that must have felt like in the middle of like the pandemic when you just had to fire everybody.
Yeah,
like,
and you know these people got lives.
Yeah,
you know they got children. You know they have mortgages to pay, car notes, and you have to go in because you the CEO, you the big man.
Yeah,
and you got to clean the slate and tell them goodbye. Nothing personal. It was just business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So something interesting to think about. Let's take some questions.
Yeah, let's start taking some questions, guys.
Let me go back to Jay Baggs. He made a comment way early in the show, and he said, Malcolm, listening to both sides of the story doesn't always work. Yeah. And it was one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard.
Yeah, because his thing.
If you go to a debate, aren't you supposed to listen to both sides? If the jury only hears one side, that's like a weird statement.
No, because listen, what I've learned doing this podcast with you guys, I love you guys, but what I've learned is that a lot of people, most people, only want their biases confirmed.
Yes.
They only tune into certain shows because they have an opinion and they want these people to parrot their opinion back to them, or they just like the echo chambers.
Yeah,
like, I'd say this, say that, and that's all that really matters, right?
And we agitate people.
Yeah, so like I promise you, like I would hear a story about something, I would listen to it on CNN, see what they have to say. I would go, okay, I don't know about that. I would hear about it on Fox, see what Tucker Carlson he's racist. He took the racist approach. Then I would go to an independent news station or channel, like Breaking Points, and then they would give it in the middle, and then I would just, and then my own research, and then I would just put together the pieces that just make sense for me.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. People, they think with like just emotion with a lot of these things,
and I'm not telling you,
it leads us to the wrong place every time.
Listen, I'm not telling you not to be emotional. I'm telling you your first response. These are gems I'm dropping and should not be from a state of emotion, because nothing else will make sense to you because you've already started down the emotional rabbit hole. Once you, they kill who? Yeah, it was 400 years of killing us. And we shall overcome, and then black man never get no justice. And once you go down that road, they are now moving your energy, and next thing you know, you at the press conference with Ben Comfort. I'm like, that's right, man. And it'd be all bullshit. Somebody asked me about the Kid Creole situation. That's Melly Mel's brother. He's one of the founding members of the Furious Five, MCs. They're Hall of Fame inductees, and he was found guilty recently of murder or manslaughter, I believe it was. Because a homeless guy approached him, according to him, and was propositioning him on some gay shit, and he felt threatened. He pulled out his knife. He was on his way to work, and like at a print shop at night, and he stabbed the guy. And then when he got to work, they said he wiped the blood off the knife, threw it away, this and that. And as a result, his claim was self-defense, and he lost that case.
Damn.
So yeah, that's a sad situation.
Interesting story. One of the people from the January 6th riot got off because he said the cop let me in.
Wow.
And remember, we saw cops opening the doors, so he said the cop let me in.
We did.
That was crazy. So I'm curious to see if more people who got brought up will use that defense.
All right, CKC Entertainment, thank you for the donation. Since the LG Plus agenda has failed to be successful, I think the next agenda on the list to get pushed hard is the swirl lifestyle. Big time. What do you think? Well, that's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
That's been going on for a long while.
I spoke about that at the top of the show. Like, it just seems like real, like, obvious now. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's been going on for a while.
And then Coriel, shouts out to Coriel. She was like on her Instagram, like just showing like different examples. Like, you know when they put the pictures in the frames? Like before you buy them, like the fake pictures, like interracial, like white man, black woman, and stuff like that. She was like, look at this. She showed that article I talked about that was in the New York Post as an example. Like she was going in as well. But yeah, I could see that happening.
No, it's all agenda based, and it's hard for us. You know, if you just trying to keep your family. This is what I mean by having your family together is a revolutionary act. In all of the challenges that we are faced with family issues outside of the home. You used to be able to control your home, you control the narrative, you control not necessarily the thinking of the children, but you were able to instill your own principles. Now these children have this in their hand. And this is a window to the world. So even while parents are not at home, because now if you have two parents, like I said, they both have to be out working. Even if the child is in the home, they're not in the home. They're exploring the world in ways that me and you could never have imagined. So it's hard to instill principles that used to be solid principles.
Yeah, my aunt, my two little cousins, in their rooms, like they don't have TVs. And I had a TV in my room growing up. But like now I see the importance of them not having a TV in their room.
Titan, thank you for the cash app.
And to play their video game, they have to go to the living room to play it. Like you got to play that,
and there's a designated time.
Yeah, like I see it all. I'm just like, yeah, nobody's not gonna have a TV in here.
Right. So you understand? No, they're gonna have this technology where he could just bring this shit down on some artificial intelligence shit. But that's the world. And as parents, we have to adjust our parenting to what's going on. We can't just stay fixed in the way things were because the world around us is moving. So we got to adjust. We got to adapt. Your daughter might come home with a girl. Your son might come home with a... You got to deal with issues that the world is affecting. You are no longer the primary... You know what I mean?
And you got to handle it right because now what they're trying to do is they're trying to... You could have a fundamental opposition to like a certain lifestyle, right? You could just really just be not agree with it. Not agreeing with it now, that is something to your parenting now. Like now they could call like, you know, child protective services on you because like they feel like, well, you know, you're gonna be harming like your son.
You don't want that kind of smoke.
Yo, they are trying to have money set aside for kids, for teens to be able to get these surgeries, right? And they keep saying, well, if they don't get these surgeries, they're going to commit suicide. So this is actually
saving their lives.
This is actually saving their lives. Wow. Mind you, again, these kids are kids, right? So like, if y'all know what I wanted to be when I was a kid, I wanted to go to the Marine. I wanted to do a whole bunch. I was watching the Tony Hawk doc the other day. I wanted to be skateboard. I wanted to do so many different things that if you'd have let me just sign my life up, I'd be miserable today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're letting kids make lifelong decisions with a brain that's not fully developed.
Right.
And then now you're questioning. A parent can't even question that no more.
Yes, and
that's not fair.
And we're dealing in a world where like they will villainize you.
They will, yeah.
Back in the days, you could be like, "What? You sit your ass down." You know what I mean? And you can't do that now. Now, don't mistake.
Wow, you remembered that?
Don't mistake agreeance with support. You have to support the people in your life. Don't necessarily mean you have to agree with it. Side note, I believe it's in one of these states, they're giving you $900, no questions asked, just to say that you were part of the LBGT community.
That's crazy.
$900 a month for living conditions. Somebody in the chat, please tell me what state that is.
That's crazy.
$900. I'm waiting for them to do it here in New York. $1,500, I'm in. $1,500 a month, free money.
Facts, you're a trans cat.
Yeah, Cali. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm trans. Make it $1,500. Yeah. My name is in the dossier. Facts.
That's crazy.
I removed TV from my room 3
Somebody
years
said
ago.
gotta be Cali.
Yeah, well, just saying.
Yeah, it's gonna happen in New York next.
Yeah, either they start things in New York or they start them in Cali. I'm not gonna let $1,500 sit on the table. I'm not. Yeah, this is I'm feeling. I'm trans. Yeah.
Proud Family. I didn't watch. I watched Proud Family growing up, but I'm not gonna watch the new one.
Okay. So that's where we are, ladies and gentlemen. I thought this was a great spirited show.
Bunch of different topics everywhere.
That just go everywhere. You know what I mean?
What'd you think about?
Hey, Aunt said $1,500 a month. I'm a lesbian. That's what I'm talking about. Man, give me that cash. That's a car note. Shit. I'll be sitting in motherfucking infinity like this. Absolutely.
So apparently, guys, look this up. This is something called air protein.
Oh yeah.
Air protein. Now it's apparently somehow, some way, this company is making chicken out of air, like sustainable chicken out of air.
Now that's some voodoo. That's some voodoo for your ass.
Yeah.
But that's fifth dimensional shit, son. In your mind, you be like, yo, I'm in the mood for a chicken sandwich. Bam!
That's
chicken
crazy.
Sandwich. Right? So they're showing you through other mechanics and ways how this shit is done. They're gonna freak the air along with the water, creating some kind of weird effect, and the shit is gonna actually make food. Yeah. Nobody's gonna be starving.
I'm gonna put the link in the chat.
Nobody's starving, son. If you starving and you got air, son, what's your problem, son?
Yeah,
you're not manipulating the earth, air, fire, water around you, son.
I think I'm lying.
Nah, that's alchemy.
I put it in the chat.
That's a fact. That is definitely some alchemy shit.
Somebody, I saw something else. I saw another good story.
Oh, I'll get the Cadillac. Yeah, no, they said no Cadillac. Now I'm like, yeah, I'll get the Cadillac. Shit. And put the flag on my shit, too.
What flag?
The gay flag.
The rainbow flag.
Shit. I won't be getting stopped and shit. I'm like, yo, nigga, we can give you the money, but you got to put the flag. Nigga, put the flag on that shit.
Oh, that's funny.
Shit, I be peeing.
The Texas governor.
Oh, the Texas governor has threatened to take illegal immigrants and bust them from Texas all the way to Washington.
See, that's rhetoric that'll get your base going.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
But it roused the people up.
Yeah.
Yeah, get them goddamn. Yeah, take them right down there to Biden.
That's all that's for.
Right on the footsteps of Biden. Let him deal with them goddamn immigrants and shit.
And Ohio is actually working on their own version of the quote unquote "Don't Say Gay" bill, which is really a parents' bill, but it's called. They call it. You know how the media's called. Ohio is working on their own now.
What is it called?
I don't know what it's called, but again, it's going to be like a mirror of they don't want sexual orientation and things like that being discussed between kindergarten and third grade.
Yeah, but what about after third grade? You think your third grader is now? Why are they stopping that shit at third grade?
Well,
you think your fourth grader is ready to deal with this shit?
I think those are really tender ages.
Yeah, I mean, now the kid might ask the question, why does Tommy have two daddies?
Right.
And then you got to go through a spiel with that. Yeah, sure.
And you know the term that that I've been seeing like lately now on social media is called the groomer. Like, you know, they're grooming kids and stuff like that. So they're calling like everybody who's against that bill like groomers and stuff like that. Like, or everybody, you know, they're calling it like Disney World groomers and stuff like that. I saw a picture of Ghislaine Maxwell at Disney World in like the 70s.
Wow.
Like on stage, like she was doing like some presentation or something. Yeah.
And she goes back. The mayor is alphabet. That is why.
Malcolm, what do you think the Urban X podcast will be in 5 years? 5 years. Man.
That's a long time, bro. If I'm still sitting here in 5 years talking this shit,
I'm not gonna lie.
need to get a life.
Yeah, if we still here in 5 years,
I need to get a goddamn life. Yeah.
We did bad.
We haven't pivoted to other things that need to get done. Yeah.
I love y'all though.
Shit. Yeah. 5 years.
5 years.
I'm trying to get to show 300 and make it without no bullshit. 5 years. Quit. We need you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going anywhere, but 5 years, goddamn.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Y'all see the Nigerian who got killed by his white girlfriend? Yes, I did see that.
And she didn't get charged?
Yeah, she's like in the psych ward because she claimed like she was about to commit suicide, so they put her in the psych ward.
Oh, she went there with it.
Yeah, I don't
Does
know.
her family have money? Like, are they?
She's white.
She's lawyered up or something?
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys. But with that being said. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. No after show tonight because we got some stuff to do into the morning, like really early in the morning. So we got to get to it right now. But we appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll be with you guys on Monday, after show on Monday as well.
Yes.
And we're going to start uploading a bunch of his classic lectures into the membership as well.
Yes.
Hours upon hours of stuff.
Yep.
All right, guys. So, yeah, peace.
Peace.